Hello, hello, welcome to another episode of Commander's Compendium, and today we are playing a little Yidris, little Cascade action. Here we go. So we're playing four-color Cascade. We're playing against Bruna, Light of Alabaster, so let's see, your opponent just messaged us. Yeah, you too. So, man, I would keep this hand if I knew there was a land on top. We got a mulligan. We could try this one. We'll go to Scribe. And, ooh. As much as I want to keep that Mana Vault on top, I gotta put it on the bottom. Alright, we're trying to dig for a land, so we'll get another Scry chance here. And I'll go ahead and talk through our commanders here. We're gonna go ahead and pass over to our opponent. So Yidris is a 5 mana 5/4. He is all colors but white. He has trample. When he deals combat damage to a player, as you cast spells from your hand in this turn, they can cascade. Bruna, Light of Alabaster, she is white blue Cersorius, a 5/5 flying vigilance for 6 mana. When she attacks or blocks, you may attach any number of auras on the battlefield, and you may put onto the battlefield attached to her any number of auras from your graveyard and hand. So she's basically going to be like a Voltron or almost like a combo deck, really. We got this Putrefy, though. That should be decent against her. And Baral's Expertise hopefully won't be too bad. Be nice to draw a blue source next turn so we could go Rashmi. Obviously, we just want to draw nothing but lands. So my opponent went to play this Azorius Chancery. They had to bounce a land, which put them over 7 cards, so they're discarding. Yeah, this deck is really sweet. I made a couple changes since the last video I played with Yidris. I'll put the description for that video in the... I'll put the link to the video in the description. But, yeah, I made some changes, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun to play. I really enjoyed playing Yidris. Just something fun about, you know, rolling the roulette wheel, spinning it to see what you get. So we drew the next best thing to a land here, which is what else? Allow us to get down a breeding pool. And even if we don't get another land so we can play our Yidris, we can play Rashmi. Kind of an unfortunate hand. We could certainly draw signets or something to get us to our commander. Alright, so Umbra Mystic, auras attached to permanents neutral have totem armor. That's going to be pretty good. Okay, so there's a land. That gives us enough to play Yidris. Green, blue, black. Let's drop down this bad boy. So all we want to do is connect so we can start the value train rolling. And it's probably going to start with Baral's Expertise. That'll be the main way we really can take advantage. So we need to hit an island. If we don't hit that, we'll probably go Rashmi. We have a few turns before he can get down his Bruna. We've topped it pretty well. I mean, hitting those lands turn after turn is always... That's always a great when you can do that in Commander. So yeah, my Yidris deck is more value-oriented. We have some win conditions like Aetherflux Reservoir. So this deck can play like a Storm deck, but really I'm just trying to get some value off my cards like Rashmi, off the Expertises so I can cast multiple spells in a turn. Okay. Spear of Heliod will allow him to take care of our Yidris next turn. But that does give us 1 turn with a Yidris activation. Ooh, and we actually get Baral's Expertise here. Okay. I'm going to start with a Simic Signet before we go Cascade. I don't want to hit a will effect. and discard our hand. I want to get this Brawl's Expertise down because I want to return his Umbra Mystic and his Spear of Heliod to hand. And probably our Wood Elves. This will be a lot of fun. Alright. Maybe he has a way to... Okay. That was interesting. Not quite the block I expected there. Maybe people forget that Yidris has trample. Okay. Alright, so post-combat, we will play the Signet. So you're about to see how much value you can get off an Expertise after a Yidris activation. So we're returning Wood Elves and Spear of Heliod, as you can see. Those are our targets. We hit a Sylvan Library off of the Cascade. Alright. Now, we get to cast a card with converted mana cost 4 or less without paying the mana cost thanks to Brawl's Expertise. Because we're casting Rashmi from our hand, she'll have Cascade. So we're going to get a Sultai Charm. We'll choose to draw 2 and discard 2. We will discard probably the Wood Elves so we can hit a land drop. So, for 5 mana, we played Brawl's Expertise, we played Sylvan Library, Rashmi, and a Sultai Charm. That's pretty good. That is a pretty good turn for us. Alright, Supreme Verdict. That's fine. Obviously, not too concerned. We've got a Seasons Pass. We can return back Rashmi if we need to. Okay, Sylvan Library. Always yield and always yes. Let's put Magus of the Will on top, and let's pay 4 life to keep Runescore Demon in our hand. Let's drop a Bloodstained Mire. Let's play a Mind's Dilation. This should be pretty good against our opponent. I love this card. This is a... Mind's Dilation is a huge favorite of mine, so it's whenever an opponent casts his or her first spell each turn, so that includes my turn and their turn. We get to exile the top card of their deck and cast it if it's a non-land card without paying its mana cost. That's kind of redundant, by the way, but... So yeah. Love Mind's Dilation. I think at this point this game is slipping away from our opponent. Oh, an Aura Blast. That's sweet. I'm going to go ahead and crack this Bloodstained Mire. Just now. Yeah, we'll get the Watery Grave. Yes, we will play Asperia the Inscrutable. This is an old one. 5 mana, 3/6 flying. When she deals combat damage to player, name a card. That player reveals his or her hand. If she reveals the name card, search your library for a creature with flying. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. So we get to play a little name game. Next turn we will probably... So our opponent's at, let's see, 5 mana. We'll probably play... Oh, okay, so he's going to Swords to Plowshares our Asperia. It's a nice little... You know, opponent had to use 2 cards to get rid of essentially 1 card of ours. War Blast does let him draw a card, but regardless. Sensei's Divining Top. Alright. Mind's Desire. Huh. Not looking good for me, Maelstrom says. Yeah, I got off to a good start. Your deck looks sweet though. I love Isperia. Yeah, Isperia is a sweet card. All right. Well, Treasure Cruise is a good draw. Put on top. Pay for life. So we have some options here. We go Lotus Cobra into Treasure Cruise. And try to draw lands. Let's Seasons Past. Has not been doing well, too slow, our opponent says. So Seasons Past for Bloodstained Mire, Mind's Dilation, Rashmi, Sultai Charm, and Baral's Expertise. You know, draw 5 cards basically out of our graveyard for 6 mana. That card is fair. We will follow up with a Lotus Cobra. A Bloodstained Mire. Yes. We will make blue. Sack the Bloodstained Mire. Let's get a... Let's get a Bayou. Yes, make black. And let's go ahead and drop a Rashmi. Okay, so we got Rashmi back on the field. I could have held up mana for Putrefy, but since our opponent doesn't have a way to give the Bruna haste currently, I'm not concerned about them playing the Bruna then attacking immediately. Now, of course, if they do, I mean, you know, I slipped up there, but the big concern with Bruna is always her getting hexproof or shroud or something. Some way that we can't interact with her. So, got some interesting plays we could make next turn if we wanted. There's the Spear of Heliod again. We can destroy that with Putrefy if we choose to. I think I might try to go for Mind's Desire next turn. Maybe... Well, we'll see. We'll see what we draw into with Sylvan Library. Library is a powerful card. If you guys play online, pick this card up. It's very cheap. It's been reprinted a few times online. In paper, it's a fairly expensive card, at least from the casual perspective. But even in paper, I would suggest you pick up a Sylvan Library. We want to put Opulent Palace on top and put Eternal Witness on top, I think. Okay, let's just play a Forest and let's get blue. Maybe I just want to get the Yidris out. We'll get Eternal Witness if we do this. We'll use Witness. Well, I guess I could have used Putrefy first, but I'm going to save that. We'll use Witness to get back the Wood Elves. And we will just go ahead and cast this Wood Elves. Cash the Wood Elves in for a Tropical Island, excuse me. And yeah, let's make black. I'm not going to spend it though, I don't think. Nah, we'll wait. I'm going to keep the Putrefy and Sultai Charm up. We can destroy the Spear. We can also kill the Bruna in response to a trigger. I don't think I want to just toss these out quite yet. That's a really, really sweet looking Tundra. I like that a lot. Foil Tundra. Opponent has a cool deck. This is a lot different than most Bruna decks I've seen in the past. Typically Bruna, from my experience, they just want to swing in as quickly as possible to trigger her and create as many auras, you know, just deal 21 commander damage in one turn. And our opponent seems to be playing more of a controlling deck. This might cause a concession here, so we're going to go ahead and play the Putrefy. Trigger Rashmi, which is the main reason we want to cast our instants on their turn. Get another Rashmi trigger to draw a card. Yeah, that figure says, can't let her live. Alright, yeah, we will cast Key to the City. Jorian Ruin Diver. Let's put this on top. And let's just keep that in hand. We'll swing in with the Goon Squad. Hit our opponent down to 12. And let's go ahead and cast ourselves 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's cast ourselves a Rune Scar Demon. Cast Baral. And just for fun, because I love to cast this card, let's grab a Mind's Desire. Let's get blue mana. So our instants cost and sorceries cost 1 less. So we can go Chromatic Lantern and we'll still have enough to play the Mind's Desire. So we'll get 2 more spells off this. Cast the Farseek. Yep, we'll add blue, whatever. Here we go. Alright, this is just... Oh, I love playing this card. Magus of the Will. Command Tower. Come on. Island. Oh no! Command Beacon! Okay, we hit a Solemn with the Cascade. Oh, this is just so much value here. Yep. We will use his ability, fetch up a mountain. Yep, we will add some mana. Let's add blue. I don't know. Wheel of Fate. Let's cast it. Let's give our opponent some more options here. We don't need to do it, but alright. And we will go ahead and drop down a Burgeoning, Cascade. I think we can hit a Mana Crypt here. Yep. And and then our turn will be done. Opponent needs to have drawn into a Wrath with our Wheel of Fate. Yeah. That's a pretty fun turn. Oh, that was great. So we went from these 5 creatures, Sylvan Library, and Akita City. That's what we started that turn with. Yidris is really just one of the most powerful commanders they've ever released. He really is. Even when you're just playing him value good stuff, kind of like my deck is. I do love to build decks with a theme, and if you were to build this card competitively, yep, you got to go Storm. GG, I was thinking you might have drawn into a Wrath with my wheel effect. So the old scoop. Yeah, it's a pretty fun deck. Sometimes it can stomp. You know, when you're playing online, there's just such a wild variety of decks that, you know, some people are just playing sometimes Elf Tribal with, you know, not a huge collection, and then you have some people playing competitive combo decks. So it's hard to build a deck that really plays against the field, and sometimes a game like this can happen where it feels like we just don't have any way of losing. But I try at least hopefully make the deck to where it's somewhat fun to play against, where we're having, you know, casting some fun spells. Mind's Desire to me is just the perfect fun spell. Who knows what you're going to reveal. Yeah, I hope you guys had fun watching the video. Please hit me up with a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Check out my other Fast Mana series. You know, if you want to see more gameplay like Yidris. Yeah, and like I said, link in the description below for my previous Yidris game. Thanks, and be good, guys.